Hey guys, what's up? So I'm gonna do a video today on how to install these Molle panels from Spider No Drill roof rack on the 2019 to 2021 Subaru Foresters. So here's our Molle panel. Molle panel is gonna go here. They've obviously already been installed. As you can see, I have my holes drilled out and everything, but we just wanted to make a video to kind of walk you guys through the installation. All right, so first off, we're gonna wanna remove some of this molding here on this back side of the trunk and then the passenger rear. We're gonna wanna loosen all of our plastics, right? We're gonna go ahead and just undo all these, okay? And these are all just little push pins that you're just gonna remove. All right, and you're gonna wanna do some of the black one as well, because we're gonna have to separate these to make our holes, all right? Once you have all that done, we can come to the other side. I kind of already loosened these as it was, but we just want to go ahead and pop these down. There we go. Okay, these will come off and separate here. Okay, so you have two choices. You can either leave this one how it is right now. You're most likely gonna have to take it off later so you can drill your hole here. But essentially what we're looking at here is once you take this off, this back side here usually has a push pin that goes into this hole right here, right? So then once you take this off, this is gonna get the threaded rivet that's gonna go in here. So you can automatically go ahead and do that one right there, right off the bat. So for your brackets, you're gonna have one that looks like this, kind of angled out. That's gonna be this backside one, okay? And then you have two of them that look like this, and these are gonna be for the front. So once you go ahead and you drop your threaded riveter in there, whether you use a tool or you basically just grab your screw, put it in through the spacer and tighten it down until it crimps it. It'll crimp around the aluminum in the vehicle. So then once you do that, you want to use this plastic to kind of align where you're going to go. So that's why I said you could either take it off all the way or not. It'd be easier to take it off so you can drill through the hole. Then once it's set, you're just going to go ahead and put it back in place, like where it's going to be. Just move some of this stuff around here. And then you're going to find your, you know, you got to put this guy in. Okay, once you're in place, you're gonna try to find, you're gonna drill your little rivet. I'm sorry, you're gonna use a pilot bit, as small as you can get it, okay? Basically what you're gonna do is find the hole and the angle of where your rivet's at, because that spacer that we have is going to go in here. And this is gonna replace the pin that was inside. That's gonna hold this top piece together once you have it mounted. Okay, another good tool to have is going to be one of these to go ahead and pull. Sometimes these plastic push pins kind of fall out or they get stuck in the frame. You could just use this to pry it off so you don't lose them. These are very crucial to have, right? Once you have that in there, then you know more or less, okay, hey, I'm good. You're gonna test fit. You can come in and basically test fit and there where it's gonna go, and just make sure that it's gonna screw in, right? You come on this side to look, you visualize, and you say, okay, cool, that's a good fit right there. See, for me, I'm able to thread it in, and then essentially it's gonna go here, but you're gonna tighten that down later on way better and more. This is just a test fit. So once we're good here, you know, okay, hey, like this is where it's gonna go. So then you're gonna take this off, okay? You're going to get your back mounting bracket, and that's gonna go here. You want the longer flat edge out. This is what's gonna mount to the actual Molle on the rear side of the Molle. So you're just gonna put this with the washer. You're gonna use your cut spacer. You'll see it's one of the cut ones that has a solid black piece, and then it's silver on the back side. Go ahead and put the shaved part towards the frame of the vehicle. I like to use power tools instead of, but if not, you're gonna use an Allen wrench, or you can use one of these. It's a 5/32. You're just gonna torque it down a little bit just so you know, okay, cool, that's where it's gonna be mounted, okay? Sit in here, makes it a little bit easier. All right, so next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get your Molle plate, right? And you're gonna go ahead and line it up to where you want it. You're gonna turn this bracket however you want. But the Molle plate essentially is gonna go on this bracket here at a certain angle, right? And then you're going to get one of your mounting screws with the washer, put it through the rear, and then you have a locking or a locking nut on the back side. Just go ahead and place it on there. Okay, so essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna have this set up right here. You're gonna want to tighten this down a little bit. This is gonna be a 10 socket on the back, or a wrench. You want to go ahead and snug it down a little bit. There you go. All while leaving everything loose. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna take those measurements that we have, that we've provided, and you're gonna measure from the base of this. So you want to leave this plastic on so you can measure from the base up, and then base to the second, and then you're gonna measure from this angled piece right here, and you're gonna go from here to here, and then here to here as well. We'll go ahead and provide pictures of the measurements, where you're gonna do your center holes. You're gonna drill these with the pilot hole, same thing. And then make sure that you drill pilot hole, your measurements are good. Always measure twice or 3 times to make sure you're good. Essentially, then you're gonna drill out to the size of our rivets, and then rivets should fit in there nice and good, not too loose. You need it to be snug. And then once you press your rivets, you'll be straight. You have these guys, the same setup, right? So you have one also that's going to be shaved as well. The spacer is shaved, same as this back one. That's gonna go on the bottom, okay? You're gonna have your bracket and then your bolt with a washer, okay? So essentially these guys are gonna go here, okay? And then you want your, on these brackets, on the brackets we have a squared off edge, and then we have a rounded edge. The rounded edge is gonna go on the back of the Molle panel like this, okay? So these are angled to the angle of this, so when you mount it, you'll be good to go. the spacer is going to push it out so you have the space in between. So like I said, this is going to go here, and we're essentially going to, you know, screw this on here. Okay, so right now it's loosely fit, but once I start making my adjustments, you can see that, okay, cool, I'm gonna mount this here, and then the other screw is gonna be the same as this. It's gonna mount here. The reason you wanna keep this on here is because you wanna make sure that you're parallel as best as possible when you're getting your holes drilled, all right? So once you have these guys drilled in, and you got this where you want it, essentially you can take this Molle panel off. And then what you're gonna do here is, now it's time to drill our holes for this side of our plastics. Okay. So a good way to do it is, you can grab your long bolts that are included in the kit, and you can just screw them in, you know, lightly here. As soon as I get the right angle. Okay, and then you can also do the other one. And then one of the things you can do is, once you drill it all the way through, you can tighten, or you can get a marker, mark these here, okay? And what you're gonna do is get your panel, and you're gonna put it back on, you know, actually, let me take this guy out here. You're gonna need that rear one removed, okay? Okay, so essentially you want this to stick out a little bit, maybe to the surface of this guy here. So you'll drill up to here, right? And then same thing on the top one. Just go until you hit a little bit of resistance. Basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna mark this with a marker, you know, and what you're gonna do is put this back panel back on. Okay, you're gonna put this back panel back on here, on the, or the side panel, I can't say the back, but essentially. Okay, while you have everything marked, you're just gonna go ahead and you're gonna just give it a little tap, right? You're gonna have both of your bolts in there. And basically what that's gonna do is mark your location for where you're gonna drill for the spacers. Once again, always start off all your holes with the pilot drill bit, which is small, just to make sure you're where you need to be before you start drilling big holes. So once you're good, pop it back off. So case in point, like I said earlier, sometimes these pins come off. Just grab your tool if you have it, and then you're just gonna pop it off, right? And just put it back on so you don't lose it. These are very essential to keep your vehicle from vibrating. All right, so we have a lot of deadening material to make the car quieter. You have two choices. Like what we ended up doing is we kind of just cut little slits in it to put the spacers through. The only thing is that will kind of go and give us an issue as far as like sometimes mounting the stuff. So my suggestion is just kind of peel it back a little bit, so it's out of the way. Just kind of fold it back away from all your pins, okay? Essentially that's it. So you have your drop pins, your spacer holes you're gonna do like I said with the pilot. And then once you're good, you're just gonna test fit and make sure they're nice and snug. just a little bit. You know, you just want them to be there. So then you have very minimal, you know, drilling going on there. So then once that's done, you're just gonna go ahead and place all these back. Actually, let me take out this guy here. You know, just hold back the stuff here. Okay, just kind of snap them in there. There you go. Once everything's in place, you verify that your holes are good. I can see them from here. Everything is perfect. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy back together. Okay, very important that if these don't go in right away, just give it a little, you know, you got to take this off sometimes and kind of just make sure everything is set where it's supposed to be. You don't want to slam it. You'll break it like I did. You'll break your push pins, okay? It should just snugly go in place, nice and neatly. And you'll see this piece is gonna go up there. And then these guys will kind of snap back in place as well. See? Everything has a place. Okay, now you should have everything nice and snug. You can go ahead and put your liner back down or your weather stripping. Just takes a little finagling. And do the same thing with the door side here. Good, so everything is good, copacetic. All right, cool. So then what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna go ahead and wanna mount, you're gonna mount your brackets onto here. You have a choice of whether you want to mount them on the Molle panel first and then mount them, but the suggested way would be mount everything, okay? Lightly have it in place and then go ahead and tighten everything down, okay? So same thing, you have a spacer, you're gonna put your bracket washer bolt, okay, and then you can fit this through the hole. You find your little spot that you want to thread it in. Drill or Allen wrench, whatever you prefer. Okay, so I have it pretty snug. You're just gonna go ahead and mount it in place. Same thing, put your washer on, go through your bracket. And then your spacer, same thing. You want the shaved end is going to go in towards the vehicle. Just makes it cleaner look. Okay. And then your top one. Sure everything's nice and tight so it's not moving around. Okay, you still probably gonna have to loosen some of these anyways to try to get the plate on there nicely. You got your plate essentially. When you put it on, you got this right here. Okay, you're gonna make whatever necessary adjustments you need to make sure everything is good, right? Just, you know, have everything nicely. I like to go ahead and start with the rear one. I can make my adjustment if needed. to make sure everything is straight to go here. Same thing, you use your bolt with the washer, okay? Just makes it look cleaner. Just tighten it a little bit. You just want it a little bit snug so you can kind of come in here and you just have to, you know, align it to where you want, okay? So some of these are going to be, you just got to move it around a little bit, make sure you find where you need to be. All right, let me get in here a little bit better. All right, same thing, you're gonna have your washer, your bolt, and then your nut, all right, in the back side. Let's see, so this guy. So this is where the little bit harder part comes in, just trying to make sure everything's aligned and straight. You see everything where it goes. Oh, don't drop your nuts. And you can kind of fit your hand back there. Okay, you just want that nice and snug there before you start mounting all these other ones. So let me find that nut there. Same thing with this one, you're just gonna go ahead and this is gonna go up here. Let me find that nut. Also come here so I don't get in your way. So this guy here, just gonna move a little bit, kind of adjust where I want it. Okay, same thing. Just hold it in place. You fit your hand in it. If you got smaller hands, you'll be able to fit it in there. Okay, so there you go. You see it's all nice and good. Just adjust whatever brackets you want to adjust at that time. Okay, you want it nice and straight. So then once you're good, just button everything down. You know, same thing with the 10 in the rear. With the Allen wrench by hand, or if you have one of these, it'd be great. Actually, turn it around. Okay, then you want to go ahead and make sure that these are nice and tight. So there you go, you have it nice and good, ready to go. So that's it, guys. You're going to do exactly the same process on the other side. Here you go, you can check it out. This was just, you know, I broke one of my clips, so it doesn't snap in very good, but, you know, this is it right there. Thanks, guys.